worked specifically on purple leaves / petals. I had gotten much earlier on I'd gotten clusters of flowers that included the purple that I wanted, and also that magenta color that I didn't really want. I'd cut it down to them being half, but I wasn't really getting anywhere. I had managed then to get this top of this line. I had gotten a single one of the wrong color. It was close. I got a number of variants of it with the purple that I did want, but eventually this one was my success. If you can't tell, it started with using that. Now there are some recessive genetics in color, which is why sometimes I get weird things that pop out when I breed it with other things. But I got the one in the color that I wanted, but then I tried in many ways to try and get more than one leaf in the right color. But no, I'll get it paired with the blue or the magenta, or I will get other colors entirely out of it. But I have failed over and over and over again to get these in a multiple. I keep trying. I did end up seeing a new species show up on its own in a spot that was uninhabited, but also the starter species that were here, I went and named. Oh yeah, it's over there. But a lot of these places were empty, but when I was poking around and naming the things that were there on their own, I saw this one. I did do a crossbreed. This one I made. You can tell because it says parents, because one of their own had these tiny flowers in multiple colors, while the rest had that. I did not get a better differentiation there. But some other things that I got while I was trying to get purple. One, different color variants are still the same species, but also the single leaf and the multi-leaf of the leaning blue flower are considered the same species. These and these. Because I named one of these, and then came over to name these 2B, but saw that no, these are considered the same species. But I had gotten, well, in the process of trying different ways, this one actually did a very nice, because of the way the petals line up. This one is similar, but because they lay over crowded for me to be able to look at them as cleanly as I can with this one. It just did a very good job of distributing those and the colors on them. While they weren't the colors I wanted, I think the layout worked out well. But you'll notice some have broader, some have spindlier. Some flowers are ridiculously tiny. But in trying to get some purple isolated, I ended up getting little needly things because narrow things spread together, sometimes you get extremes. So I kind of have the equivalent of pine needles, or anyway, needles you would expect on a conifer. On some of these, those are slightly more rainbow needles. Those are blues and greens. But yeah, I got some a little easier to look at needly bits. But yeah, some of the recessive genetics that linger are frustrating because they crop up and aren't helpful. But yeah, I have tried a number of ways and variants to try and get multiples of these fucking purple, and it just hasn't happened yet. But yeah, I have spent a fair amount of time poking around with this some more, trying to get some very specific results. I got a partial success after a whole lot of attempts and then follow-up attempts. What I was doing over here, I was working on trying to retain a purple trunk and get I guess this one's kind of the closest. Retain a purple trunk and have some purple flowers on it, because that's not something I have. I have, either because they were already out there or have made along the way things that have matching stem and petal slash leaf. So that's the next thing I want to try and work on with different colors. Some of them are already there. Some of them are probably going to be easier just because of the options available. But fucking purple is being difficult. Like if I wanted massive plumes of blues and greens, that's real easy. So you can get bizarre pom-pom mixes that those are not the colors I wanted. The color math is weird, for lack of a better way to describe it. Like, I add a red and a blue, and I should get something in between them, and sometimes it wraps around the other way. But also, sometimes because lingering recessive genetics, you just get something weirder. But like, I go from a red, I went from, where are you? This red to that, to, I mean, that came out of something that did not have anything remotely resembling green in it. But yeah. Like, I can get fucking fuchsia but not what I want. So the complexity is frustrating, but I don't mind it. It's just making doing what I want difficult. So many failures. So many failures. The reason why it has a blue stem is because I combined one of those red single leaf trees and one of the blue stemmed single leaf blues. Because otherwise I was going to get a mix of colors, and that kept going wrong. I couldn't isolate down from this has multiples, and some of those colors are the ones I want. So I got a solo. It worked, but I'm not getting doubles back out of it, let alone more. Not that are all the color I want. But yeah, I am actually still poking around with this and learning more about what I can and can't get away with, and some of the bizarre genetic ideas it comes up with that were not what I was looking for, but also sometimes some nice symmetry. Anyway, I wasn't expecting to show a whole lot. Just my progress on purple petals / leaves, which is partial.